fact, because we're not working with equipment. All right, so we're going to start off on the ground. So we'll work on the lower leg and then predominantly the calf, the feet, the ankles. So a lot of that will be happening in like some yoga poses. So there's still going to be a strength aspect. We'll just try and get into different areas of the lower leg, and that's good for people who run, people who stand, people who've had problems with plantar fasciitis, Achilles, and just calf tightness. And I'll just address a little bit of how that can happen. So if you're a runner, if you recently switched shoes, maybe with a lower profile, it's that's pretty hard on the lower legs. If you are someone who stands a lot and isn't wearing the right shoes, that can cause like swollen feet and problems in that area. And yeah, I mean, it's usually ramping up too fast, wearing the wrong shoes for you. People like to buy shoes that are that are light, when really they should start off with a shoe that maybe doesn't look as pretty, but is a little more sturdy. So I have these conversations a lot, especially with women who then tend to choose like the Nike Free, and they start running again, and instead of going for like 10 minutes, they go for 40 minutes. And then they don't run for the next 3 weeks, rehabbing it. So that's just my little TED talk. So we'll start off. We'll start on all fours, and I want you to tuck your toes. So that in itself is not easy for a lot of people. So you're tucking your toes, and then you'll move your hips back towards your heels. So by opening up the toes, and especially the big toe, we're also creating some space in the back of the leg. And as you're doing this, you can maybe walk your toes forward a little bit and get into the feet more. We'll do about 10 more of this rocking forward and back. And then we're going to tuck the toes and come into a downward dog. And so in downward dog, I have really tight hamstrings. So I can't immediately come into a position where my legs are straight and my heels are on the ground. So we're keeping the knees bent, and you'll actually step your right foot further back. And then I want you to push into your hands to where your chest is leaning on that left leg, on the thigh. And then the right leg extends and bends and extends and bends. 3, we're doing 15, 4, 5, 6. And by staggering it, it's not as hard on the upper body. 7. And 5 more. So nice length in the calf. And then come down, relax for a moment. So this is not supposed to be tough in terms of your strength. Yes, I got some rest. Thank you. By last night at dinner, I was so tired that I was actually, my eyes were falling shut. So I went to bed at 8 or 8:30. And then come up into downward dog. So now walk your right foot in a little, left foot back, and we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll push our chest back towards the right thigh, and then the left leg will extend and bend, so we're stretching out the calf in a dynamic way. 3, 4, we're doing 15. 5, 6, 7, 5 more. And okay, good. Take a break again. So we're trying to take rests in between because today is more about mobility than making this really hard. Okay. Now I want you to step one foot out. So there's a 90-degree angle between the turned out leg and the knee. And then you're going to move in and out. So while this is up top, there should be mobility in the ankle as well. So moving in, moving out 15 times. And 5 more. Keep your foot completely flat. Okay. And then I'll just come further over to that side so you can see the full leg. Extend your leg so it's straight. And then point and flex your foot. And you can hear, don't know if you heard the crack in my Achilles. Pointing and flexing. You can put your hands on the ground if you don't want to hold yourself up. Again, we're adding mobility right here. Again, we're doing about 15. Good. And then point. So as a straight leg, straight foot. Really try and push your toes down towards the ground. Okay. Other side. So we're starting off, we're on the knee. The other leg is out, turned out, in and out. And your back foot is flat. And 4 more. Good. And then extend your leg. Start off by pointing and flexing the foot. And when you flex, you can feel that all the way into the meatier part. And so my goal with some of these exercises is that you walk away and you feel really expansive. Like you feel like your legs are doing better afterwards. We're pointing the toes now. So you hopefully walk easier, you move easier, you run easier. Okay. Good. So now we're getting into the Achilles bit that connects to your calf. So I want you to cross your right shin over your left Achilles and then sit back and apply a lot of pressure. So you're just rocking with that bony part of your shin on your Achilles and your calf, and that's not very comfortable. We'll do about 30 seconds. And we'll do about 10 more seconds. Okay, and then switch. So I'm taking the left shin, placing it right here. So there's the Achilles, and then the calf muscle splits up. We're going right onto that attachment. In and out, in and out, in and out. And we'll do 10 more seconds. Okay, good. And now you're going to bring 1 foot forward. So we have the knee forward. Now the knees are pointing in the same direction. You're extending the leg. And from here, stretch out the hamstring by bringing your hands down. So see if that's accessible. If you can't reach the floor, you may have to grab a pillow to put your hands on, a pillow or two. And from here, you're going to turn the toes in and out and in and out. So your foot is going to stay flexed. And you go in, out, in, out. Especially if you have plantar fasciitis and you have the pain in the heel, this might actually feel good. Not in the moment, but afterwards. So we're turning in and out about 15 times. And then forward and back again. This time we're facing forward, so we're also getting the hamstring stretch. Just 10 of these. Okay, and then switch sides. Stretch out the left hamstring. So start off with your foot flexed, and then go in, out, out. Massage out that back of the heel. Keep your foot flexed, pulled in towards you. So sometimes it's not just stretching, it's really adding some more space in these structures. And then go 10 forward and back. Really challenge yourself pulling back more so you feel that in the calf. Okay. And then we'll come back into downward dog. So come back into downward dog and see if now when you have your feet parallel, it's easier to bring your heels down. It's easier for me. I've created some space already. So, and then you bend your knees again. And we're going to roll all the way up onto our toes. And then all the way back down. Knees are bent, roll up. And then extend the legs to a straight knee. Bend your knees, roll up, extend the leg, bring the heels down. Bend, roll up, extend, and down. 10 more like that. Bend, come up, extend, roll down. Bend, come up, extend, roll down. Bend, come up. Come up. Bend your knees, come onto your tippy toes, heels down. 3 more. 2. And 1. Okay. Walk your feet in. It's heavy on the arms, so just sway a little left and right. And then we're going to step 1 foot out and come really low on that opposite side. So now your feet are both parallel. You're sinking down on the opposite side. And you try and keep pressing this outside of the foot down onto the mat. And then reach for the foot. And you should feel a stretch up on top of the foot into the ankle and up the outside of the leg. And then see if you can reach forward a bit, rock back, forward and back. your whole foot is on the ground. Don't let that outside of your foot peel off. And in the meantime, you're sitting on your opposite heel and getting a little bit of space in the toes there. Okay, and then switch to the other side. So you're coming low here. Your heel is up. I'll just show you. You're sitting on those toes. This leg is extended. The outer foot is on the ground. And you're just moving forward and back. And basically massaging all the structures in your ankle. If you see martial artists, they work a lot on their feet. And they're really nimble. Okay. And then we'll come back into downward dog. And again, that's our litmus test. How good can you place both feet on the mat, legs extended, knees straight, and are your heels touching? Okay, so now you're going to leave your left leg like that, and the right leg is going to lift up and just hook behind the left calf and just really stretch out. Stretch the left knee. You can rock a little side to side. And then come down. Child's pose. Tops of your feet are flat. None of this is supposed to be super hard on other parts of the body. And then come up again. Set yourself up in a parallel. And then hook your left foot behind your right calf. Push back through your arms. Straight right knee. Just a few more seconds. And then come down, child's pose one more time. And then open up the knees. And walk your hands back. So you're really resting on the soles of your feet. And then just walk your hands back while also pushing your knees forward. So we keep pointing the toes, flexing your toes, pointing and flexing. And then bring your knees in and turn your toes out. And either come to sit between your feet or just rock up and down. Okay, and then come out of this. This can be a bit tough on the knees. So I want you to bring the soles of your feet together and then hold on to both feet from below. You may have a lot of opening in the hip. I don't. But it's not so much about the hip right now. I want you to fan out your toes. So not only out to the side, but also away from each other. And then I want you to hold on to the big toes and actively pull them out. And then, so use the big toes to pull yourself in while pulling them out to the side. So I was a fencer for many years. I fenced for about 14 years. And the mobility in my toes is severely diminished because I used to hit the front of my shoes. So you wear fairly snug shoes, or at least you used to, a little bit like racing shoes for car racing. And because of the movement, you would hit the front, hit the front, hit the front. And so my toe mobility is reduced to about 30% of what it should be. So we've done this with our thumbs up top. What I'm going to ask you to do now is hold the other 4 toes, pull them out to the side, and then the big toes are going to come in and then out towards the 4 other toes. In and out and in and out. That looks funny, but that's a big workout for the plantar fascia and a big stretch. So you're pulling 4 toes out towards your knees. The soles of your feet, the ball of your foot is touching. And then your big toes go in, touch almost, and go out. And in and out and in and out. Looks funny. Doing about 15. So let's do 5 more. 4. It's uncomfortable. 3, 2, and 1. Good. See how that feels like. You can probably grab the plantar fascia here and feel that you really open it up. And then wash your hands. So we're massaging out this whole area around your arch. Okay. Now, unconventional calf stretch. Extend your right leg out. Cross your left knee all the way over the right knee. So they're on top of one another, not just ankle to knee, all the way across. Now flex your foot and then grab that big toe. If you can't grab it, grab your calf. Or grab it with the other hand, which might be easier. And stay here and stretch. Deep stretch from the lower calf through into the hamstring. And then let go of the tension in the top knee. And then we'll switch. So extend your left leg, cross your top knee all the way, and then grab the big toe. And then try not to hold this knee up, which is what I just did. And let go of that one. Come into a low squat. So the wider you go, the easier it is to keep your heels on the ground. And then bring your hips down. If you can't do that, place a yoga block or a pillow under your bum, under your hips. And here, just rock forward and back. So you're probably resting more on the inside of your feet. See if you can come onto the outside of your feet. Don't be ashamed to put your feet really wide. So instead of not doing it, people will not do it and they'll just stay narrow and they say, I can't bring my heels down. So they stay on their toes, but you really want your heels down. So that means you have to sit on a block, that's fine. If that means you have to step your feet wider than I have them, that's fine. This is a powerful release for your feet and for your lower back. And then I will ask you to come out of this. Place yourself against the structure, either a wall or a dresser. Bring your hips in really close. Turn towards the structure. Lift your legs up. Remove whatever you have in your back pocket. And then bring your legs up here. So as close to 90 degrees as you can. And because no one does this when I tell them to do it, I'm going to time you for 2 minutes of just legs up the wall, really letting those legs relax, rest. You all deserve it. It's late in the day in the US. Deep exhales. It's a bit like Shavasana. Someone told you to just lie down for a minute or two by yourself in the middle of the day, you wouldn't do it, but it's very powerful for your central nervous system. So the same thing applies to legs up the wall. Once you've done it, especially longer than these 2 minutes, and your legs start tingling, it's addictive. So we have another minute and 15. You can stretch out your arms overhead. You can close your eyes. I mean, you can take phone calls like this, maybe not on Zoom, but some people still talk on the phone, just on the ear. Or maybe you can do it when your video is off and you're muted. We have 50 seconds left. Notice where you're holding yourself up. So let go of the muscles in your thighs, your hamstrings. Try not to hold that pose. You're really just relaxing the legs up. And your feet will thank you. 30 seconds left. And you can set a timer. So when you have more time, I recommend, or even if you have more time now, I recommend you stay in this for about 5 minutes, maybe even 10. And you will start feeling a little bit of a rush. And then when you stand up, it's just so pleasant to finally have been off your feet. And that was 2 minutes. I challenge you to stay up for another 3. And I'm going to log off and take a shower because I came straight from my run. I hope this was helpful and nice and feels good. My feet are nicely open now, and then tomorrow we'll put them back to work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love to everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone.